Dorchester Abbey is a historic Church of England parish church located in the village of Dorchester-on-Thames, Oxfordshire, about 8 miles southeast of Oxford. It is formerly known as the Abbey Church of St. Peter and St. Paul. It was originally a Saxon cathedral in 634 AD, when the Diocese of Dorchester was established, which was one of the largest dioceses in Anglo-Saxon England, stretching from the Thames to the Humber. It became an Augustinian abbey in 1140. After the dissolution of the monasteries in 1536, the abbey church survived because the townspeople bought it from King Henry VIII for £140 to serve as their parish church. Most of the monastic buildings were demolished. Only the abbey church remains today. It is still an active parish church, but is also a Grade 1 listed building and one of the best preserved examples of medieval monastic architecture in England. Now, Dorchester Abbey hosts concerts, exhibitions, and the annual Dorchester Abbey Festival of Music. Saint Birinus was a Frankish or possibly Italian missionary bishop who brought Christianity to the Anglo-Saxon Kingdom of Wessex and became the first bishop of Dorchester-on-Thames. He is known as the Apostle to the West Saxons. Very little is known with certainty about Saint Birinus's origins, although it's assumed he was probably born around 600, possibly in northern Italy or eastern Francia, modern France or Germany. Tradition says he was sent to Britain by Pope Honorius I after St. Birinus vowed to preach the gospel in the most remote parts of England where no missionary had yet gone. He arrived in Britain in 634, the same year that King Oswald of Northumbria was converting the north. He originally intended to go to the Midlands or further north, but when he landed in Wessex, he found the people were still pagan and decided to stay. He began his preaching in the Thames Valley. A decisive moment came in 635. St. Birinus baptised King Sinigils of Wessex, who reigned from 611 to 642 at Dorchester-on-Thames. King Oswald of Northumbria, who was already a Christian, travelled south to act as his godfather or sponsor to Sinigils and stood with him in the baptismal waters. As a result of the baptism, Kings Oswald and Sinigils jointly gave St. Birinus the town of Dorchester as the seat of a new bishopric, the Diocese of Dorchester, covering the whole of Wessex and beyond. From 635 to 649 or 650, St. Birinus built and consecrated many churches throughout the kingdom. His cathedral was almost certainly on the site of what is now Dorchester Abbey. The Saxon cathedral was probably wooden. The present stone building is much later. St. Birinus converted large numbers of the West Saxons, including much of the royal family. St. Birinus died on the 3rd of December 649 or 650 at Dorchester, and he was buried in his cathedral church. After the see was moved to Winchester in 660, St. Hedda translated Birinus's relics to Winchester in 680 to 686, where they were placed in a silver shrine in the Old Minster. Some relics were later returned to Dorchester Abbey in the Middle Ages. The present shrine of St. Birinus in the Abbey is a modern reconstruction marking the traditional site of his tomb. The Abbey has a unique 14th century Jesse window, a rare tree of Jesse stained glass showing the genealogy of Christ. The People's Chapel contains a very rare 13th century carved stone relief of the Last Judgment. The shrine of St. Birinus, the founder of the original Diocese of Dorchester, is also in Dorchester Abbey. Beside the shrine are two remarkable effigies of 14th century knights, including the swaggering knight with its crossed legs. The abbey contains a superb collection of medieval and later stained glass. The north choir aisle has the very rare surviving 14th century stone vaulting with its carved bosses. St. Birinus is the principal patron of Berkshire and of the modern Roman Catholic Diocese of Portsmouth. With St. Edmund, he is the co-patron of Dorchester Abbey. St. Birinus laid the foundations for Christianity in southern England outside Kent. The Diocese of Dorchester he founded eventually became the huge medieval Diocese of Lincoln, and later the modern Diocese of Oxford. Dorchester Abbey still proudly honours him as its founder, and every year on the nearest Sunday to the 3rd of December, the Abbey holds a special St. Birinus pilgrimage with processions and veneration at his shrine. In short, St. Birinus was a modest missionary from the continent who, in just 15 years, turned the powerful kingdom of Wessex Christian and gave Dorchester its lasting place in English church history. Beautiful tracery from the back. And such a lovely Norman arch here. Really wonderful. I don't think I've seen one like this. That it's actually pointed, but it has the chevrons. I think that's quite lovely. Lovely little outside shrine for a saint, statue of a saint. Really lovely. That tracery there. Really nice. You can see the weather today. It's a bit grey. It's really chilly today. It's quite humid as well. I think it's probably going to rain, but it's not the best weather today. That's okay. I don't mind. So on the inside of this part here, that's where the museum is, the cloister gallery, I think that's what they called it, with all the stones that they'd compiled, the restoration stones, which I thought was nice. And I'm just thinking, actually, I don't remember seeing these. Maybe I don't remember seeing these windows, if I caught them or not. Oh well, we'll see it next time, I suppose. All things when God wants us to have them. Beautiful tower. Really nice and robust. This is the tea room here. The Abbey. What do they call it? Oh look, here we go. You see a bit of the menu. You see that menu. Tea, coffee, squash. Cake, gluten-free cake available. Cream tea with a scone. Oh, that's nice. Lets you know what charities they support. Lovely. Lovely. Yes, there's a guest house. Oh, can you see the squirrel? You see the squirrel? Little grey squirrel. He sort of looks half red, half grey actually. Good luck, Mr. Squirrel. Someone's gone for a run. Here you go. Quite nice. Old Dorchester Abbey. Quite nice. So just as I was walking out, I just read this inscription up here. Restored in 1981 by American friends in memory of their friend Edith, which is nice. I always like it when there's like an American presence in our parish churches. I think that's quite special, and again speaks to the great affection that Americans have for England, because oftentimes their families have come from there. So thank you for your continued support.